So welcome back. Good evening. This is time for the meditation. Spending this half an hour time disengaging from any responsibilities or any jobs that you are responsible for. Giving this half an hour for yourself, stopping at the moment, here and now. Finding a comfortable position, whether sitting on a floor on a cushion, or sitting on a couch or on a table, chair. Sitting upright and if possible not leaning back. If you're leaning, then the body will be like this and you will be too comfortable that you will go sleep. So not leaning your back if possible, but if you have a physical difficulties, then that's fine. But if not, the sitting upright but not rigid, and relax. And put your hands on your lap, any comfortable, and simply aware of your body presence here in this very moment. Tonight is a Friday night, so I want you to continue from last night. Continue practicing from last night. Last night we practiced to observe the long breath and a short breath. And as you observe long breath and short breath, rather than following the breath, stopping at one end, either the beginning or the end of the in-breath, which is the nose or the abdomen. As you're aware of this, ends in one place. As the breath hits, or as the breath comes in that particular place, how do you feel? How do you feel? And what is your reaction? And that would be resting place to develop your concentration. Settling down, calming yourself, establishing your awareness, ability to observe as breathe in and breathe out, it hits the focused point, and aware of the feeling, whatever sensations arises. And as you feel the sensation, how you react. What is the state of your mind at that very moment? You may close your eyes if possible. You may keep your eyes open if you found difficult. But gradually, as you set up and establish your mindfulness on the focus point, eyes will shut automatically as you feel calm. And this is obviously, again, if your mind is composed, not restless, not busy, and continuation of your practice, ability to continue, only then it's possible to be in this state and ability to observe it. And if not, you find your mind is restless, unsettled, scattered, worrying about things, a feeling of fear, irritation, bored. In that case, forget about all the techniques. Forget about all the methods of a meditation. Just simply observe that state of the mind that you are having. So aware of your irritation, aware of your bored, aware of your stress, aware of your fear. So whatever mental state you're having, you're experiencing, simply aware of that. Simply aware of that. And as you're aware of that state, as soon as you become mindful of that, simply being mindful the difference between before and after. Before you become mindful of those state, and after you have become mindful of it. Before, the heaviness you can feel, before you become mindful and you go on thinking about those things, irritation, bored, stress, fear, anxiety, and those states, so-called negativities, negative mind, and which is the dukkha or the suffering. At that moment, you feel heaviness in your brain, stress and tightness and sick in your stomach. Varieties of experiences, physical experiences you can feel, and which is unknown. But as soon as you become mindful of those states, aware of that, you're diverting your attention from unknown to known. You become aware of it and you know these states. And that very moment, you feel relaxed. You feel less tense. Your mind becomes calm. It functions properly now. So try to be aware of that difference between one or another. And sometimes your mind is so calm because of your motivation or because you wanted to sit down and meditate as you've been doing every night. And suddenly something happens, suddenly something you remember, and again you go on to that topic and float, engage, and become restless and bored, stressed, depressed, fear. All this negative mind develops. Then again, aware of that. Early on, my mind was so calm, so peace, so relaxed. But as soon as these came in, and that has changed the mental state into the negative experiences. So aware of that. So tonight, simply, whether you want to continue from the past experiences or methods that we have discussed, simply to compose and going into deeper into your own consciousness, own mind, an ability to understand that inner struggling or inner wisdom to find so-called consciousness. Or simply aware of whatever mental state you are having and understanding the difference between one another. But obviously, if you found that this is difficult to practice or difficult to aware, again, simply relax the body, aware of an entire body, like you are sitting in front of the mirror, looking at your sitting body, and whatever tension you may have in your physical body, let them relax, composed, aware of it, and then finding the primary object to start off. Settling down, grounding yourself. And gradually you may extend one after another to build the strength of the mind. And as we develop the strength of the mind and gradually ability to be mindful of the bodily function and how it relates, and we're simply breaking into small pieces to be aware of our mental actions, mental activities. So tonight, if you can, aware of these, the mind, the different minds, before you know the mind and after you have known these distractions, distracted mind. And always remember, if you feel lost, just simply come back. Come back to be aware of this present moment, awareness of the body and the mind. Or whatever state of the mind that you're having, simply stop there, aware of it. And aware the change. So continue practicing until you hear the gong. And remember, if you feel lost, you may practice the body scan, 7-part body scan, or simply working with the in-breath and out-breath by noticing beginning and end points, or simply aware of the rising, falling, touching, beginning, middle and end of the rising, falling, touching, aware of the rising of the entire body, falling of the entire body along with the breath. A few techniques, few methods that I have already introduced. Whichever you feel comfortable using those to help you to be aware, to be awake, to be mindful. But tonight, if possible, aware of the two different minds, before knowing the states of the mind and after knowing the state of the mind. How is it? As you are focusing on the one end of the in-breath or out-breath, and as the breath touches the focus point, what do you feel? What is your mental actions are? So continue practicing diligently without stopping until you hear the gong. สัพเพบุตตาบลาปัตตาปัจเจกานันจะยังพลังอรหันตานันจะเตเชนะรักขังวันทามิสัพพโสสัพพพุทธานุภาเวนะสัพพธัมมานุภาเวนะสัพพสังฆานุภาเวนะสดาโสธีภะวันตุเต
Pay respect to the Buddha.
อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภะคะวะพุทธังภะคะวันตังอภิวาเทสวากขาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมมัสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนะมามิโอเคสาธุสาธุสาธุอนุโมทนา